Hi Aquarius, welcome to your month ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help us on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So if you are not on my mailing list, you are not getting the monthly general overview, you can join that on the web link below. For those of you that have asked and would like to donate to the channel, you can do so on the PayPal link in the description box below. So with that said, let's have a look and see what our actions and interactions with the world at large are saying this month. This month we get the Nine of Wands, right? So in the heart and half sector, the Nine of Wands in the actions and interactions with the world at large means we're speaking up in some way, shape, or form. Aquarius, this month you will be heard, right? In this could be across the board. It doesn't have to be in one specific area of your life. This is about you speaking up. The Nine of Wands suggests that you're not quite there with something, right? But it also sees the battered and bruised soldier, and it very often accompanies the experience of, I never seem to be able to just say what I feel, or I never seem to be able to get a certain point across. For some of you, it's funny because my throat's going now. For some of you, this might be about the feeling of being censored in some way, shape or form. For some of you, this will relate to your past, right? There's something from the past that's happening this month, and it's not necessarily that that it's happening to you. It almost feels like you're going to some kind of therapy or taking a trip down memory lane, but you're not doing this like, I mean, for some of you it could be like a physical journey, but for a lot of you, I feel like you're divulging a hurt, something that's hurt you in the past, or something that's held you back in the past, or something that you could possibly be ashamed of, right? This month you're speaking up on it, and it's almost like one of those things. What I want to say to you is, when you speak up on a hurt, or especially on a shame, when you name and shame the shame itself, you take that power out of it, you know, that power for it to embarrass you or to make you frightened or incite fear in you. When you blurt something out, as a good example, not saying that any of you will be facing blackmail this month, but if somebody comes to you and says, well, I know this about you that nobody else knows, and you know, if you don't give me X, Y, and Z, I'm going to tell everybody. Well, if you then jump the gun and say, well, actually, you know what, I'll tell them all myself, that person, that thing that has you embarrassed or in fear has no power anymore, right? So there's some aspect of yourself or your story this month, Aquarius, that you are sharing with the wider world stage. And rather than have it kind of be one of those things where it's like, oh, the shame, the guilt, you know, all of that stuff, you're taking the power out of it. So before somebody, not that anybody will, but before somebody even thinks about trying to use something against you, you're already preempting it and saying, you know what, this is another aspect of me. You can get to know it, you know, this is a part of who I am. And before you know it, people get to see a real glimpse of you. When people get to see who you really are and they see you make yourself vulnerable in order to share who you are, it makes you a stronger, more powerful, and actually a more complete person. So let's have a look at our money and materials this month. We've got the Hierophant card. So if you're dealing with, working with, or reaching out to a financial institution this month, it looks like you're kind of going to have to do it twice. And that kind of ties in as well, because we've got a Mercury retrograde. The Nine of Wands does suggest that you're giving, you know, you're giving or divulging information. The Hierophant card is saying, well, I've taken that, but I need more from you, right? In terms of your personal finances, you could be budgeting this month, you could be putting together a financial plan. For some of you, you could be deciding that the place that you dwell in, the place that you live in, is no longer viable for 1,000,001 reasons, right? This isn't the month where you're actually moving, but it could be the month where you're starting to put those feelers out. Now, in terms of your money and reaching out or talking to financial institutions, it could be if you put an application in this month, you won't get a decline, you won't get a no, you won't get a sorry, we can't, they will ask you for more information, and that's never a bad thing. If they want more information from you, it means that you're actually a step closer, right? So think about it that way. Don't kind of freak yourself out and think, oh, you know, well, if they're asking me for this, that means it's a no. Good example, when you were younger, I'm sure many of you had this experience. You'd say to a parent, oh, can I have this or can I do that? And they'd say maybe later. And you, oh, well, that means no. No, it means maybe later. Right? It's that kind of, that's the kind of feeling that it's giving me. So, communications with the world at large, we've got the Seven of Wands. It looks like we are having a bit of a tough month of it, to be honest, my Aquarians. It's not going to be an easy month by any stretch. And actually, it could be a month where things appear to move very, very slowly. A part of that will be the Mercury retrograde. The other part of it is Jupiter is still retrograde. I don't feel like we're going to feel the benefits of this until we get to the end of the month and right into sort of August as well. But that Seven of Wands does see us having to defend ourselves in some way, shape or form. Now, because it falls right next to that Hierophant card, you could very well feel this month that you are under attack in some way, shape or form. You could very well be getting official letters that you need to deal with, things coming back from the past that need to be looked at, old documents, all that kind of stuff. If it comes up, work through it. You are an Aquarius. Don't get emotional. That's one of the best things that we do. We don't get emotional about things. We take them, we get proactive, and we start to work through things methodically. Right, so this Seven of Wands sees you having the moral high ground. It says that you have the upper hand. It says that you haven't done anything wrong, and it suggests that in your communications this month, providing you keep those things and your emotions in check with that knowledge that, hang on a sec, I haven't done anything wrong, and you know what, I just need to put all of the ducks in a row and put the facts straight. Providing you do that and you approach whatever it is that comes up with that, you will be fine, right? But yeah, your communications doesn't look necessarily too easy this month either. And like I said, it's just, I feel like you're revealing something about yourself this month, and you know, it might be a mixed bag when you get the reactions from it. So your heart and half sector, fucking hell. All right, here we go. So, for those of you that are single, you've got the Seven of Swords right next to the Seven of Wands. This is not a month for you to look at relationships. It's not a month for you to align with people. It's certainly not a month for you to talk to people about your personal and private business. That's not to say that nobody can be trusted, because that would be paranoid. It's just saying you need to be very selective about the information that you share with certain people, especially a prospective partner or somebody that's coming in. This is a no-go as far as I'm concerned. For those of you that are in partnerships or in marriages, relationships, all of that sort of stuff, I've got to be honest with you, it looks like you might be having a bit of a clash of words with your partner this month. You know, partially because of the whole thing with Mars being in the 7th house of Aquarius, which is currently Leo. So that's going to give a lot of fire and passion to that, but it might see mixed messages going forward. The other thing as well, I don't feel like a partner is deliberately withholding. I don't feel like they're deliberately lying to you, but there may be something that you discover that they haven't told you, and you think, oh, hang on a sec, why did you lie to me about that? And they're like, I didn't think it was relevant. And the truth of the matter is, they genuinely did not think it was relevant. They're not hiding something or withholding. I mean, it is a possibility for sure, but I don't feel like it's malicious. I feel like they've held something back from you, or may possibly hold something back from you, because it's like, you know what, I didn't really feel like it was relevant, and I thought it might do more harm than good. What they don't realise is that in trying to preempt that, they've actually caused more damage. So cut them some slack, all right, and cut yourself some slack while you're at it. So this first week of the month, we get the Judgment card right underneath the Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely something from our past coming up to be looked at, to be opened up, and to be cleansed and to be healed. And I've got to be honest with you, it feels like something that may have been quite painful in your past. This is coming up this month so it can be healed. And the thing about the Judgment card, it lays that thing to rest. This is like the last time that it will come up. So whatever comes up, Yes, it might be painful. Yes, it might be awkward. Yes, it might be difficult, but let it come up. Look at it, observe it, shine the light of day on it, because once you do, it no longer has any power to hold you back or to hold you down or even to loom over your head, right? This is a month of cleansing for you guys, well, for us guys. That's really the way that I feel it, to be honest with you. The moon card underneath the Hierophant card. So, I mean, the moon card represents the past as well. The Hierophant is, like I said, in terms of our finances, we're trying to get things structured. The moon card does suggest that there is a bit of confusion in this second week. It could be about money. It could be that somebody comes to you for a loan, or comes to you to say, look, you know, cap in hand, can you do this for me? And you're kind of like, to be honest with you, with these cards and everything that's come up, I definitely urge against it. This is not the month for you to loan money, because the chances are you won't get it back. With this moon card as well underneath the Hierophant, it does suggest that something's coming back, but it's old. So if it's like an old bill or an old debt or something of that nature, look at the fine print, because the chances are you're going to find out that actually, I don't know why you've sent me this, but you don't know what you're fucking talking about. It's going to be a complete load of tosh. So don't worry, because it won't come to much. The third week of the month, we get the World card, or the Universe card. Finally, some good news, right? So the Universe card, or the World card, underneath the Seven of Wands, suggests that by standing your ground and being in it for the long haul, like whatever it takes, if somebody comes to you and says, oh, you know, they try to bring you an argument or a dispute of some sort, just say, you know what, that's fine. I'm in it for the long haul. If you want to go for it, we'll go for it. Be slow, be patient, be methodical. The World card relates to this planet Saturn. So it asks you to be very, very astute in what you're doing, and it asks you to be in it for the long haul. You've got to have that staying power. Providing you show that commitment and that longevity, you come out on top. And the reason you come out on top is because you've got the Seven of Wands. The World card just backs it up to say, don't worry, whatever comes of it will be in your favour. And then finally, gosh, right, we get the Sun card, finally. So even with a card that is as shit as the Seven of Swords, the Sun card lightens that. It lessens the blow, right? So like I said, I felt this from the offset, I don't feel like your partner has necessarily lied to you. I do feel like they have omitted something, because they're like, oh, well, I'm just protecting you and us. So I'm not going to say anything about it, and then you end up finding out about it anyway, and it's kind of like a, why the fuck didn't you just tell me? Now the Sun card is beautiful because it adds light, blessings. It does kind of suggest that no matter how intense the month is, especially at the beginning, it doesn't end that way, right? So whatever has a shit beginning in terms of the month, it will be done and dusted by the time we get to the 31st of July. So as we're leaving July behind, I have to say it's going to be an intense month. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be one that brings a lot of challenges. It's going to be one that brings a lot of, you know, potential headache. But the beauty of this, right, with the Sun card as the fourth and final card for, you know, and especially for the weeks ahead, it does suggest in your relationships things aren't as bad as they seem. But it also suggests, look, because you've got the World card, so that's the end. That's I mean, like, that is literally the final card in the major arcana, right? So it suggests that once it's all done and dusted, once it's all come out from the deep, there's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Literally, right? I couldn't have, Adele, she's genius, love her. It really is like that, right? The Sun card at the end there, at the end of the whole reading, is basically saying, yes, it's going to be intense. Yes, there will be moments of challenge. Yes, it's going to be tough. There may be things that come up from your past, skeletons that come up from the closet, and you're like, fuck, I really thought I'd managed to, you know, leave that buried in my past. Well, unfortunately, it looks like you haven't. But when it comes to light, when you take the power back out of that situation, that will be it. It will never ever be able to come up or to bother you or to be an issue again. So if you can look at it that way and say to yourself, okay, you know what, yeah, it's going to be a bit crap, but I know that once we get past this month, I'm free and clear. That's cool. Bring me what you want, come what may. And that's the funny thing. I mean, I know me as a person, that is very much me. Like, I don't care how tough it is or how horrible or whatever. Tell me that I'm going to have to go through all of that. Give me the news and I will get myself through it. Don't worry about that stuff. Just give me the tea, right? Tell me what it is, tell me what it isn't, and I'll deal with the rest. So the key to the month is the 5 of Wands. So it looks like a lot of this stuff, it looks like Raph's about to start. Oh, no way, not again. I can't be losing my voice again. It looks like with the 5 of Wands, this is going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be a lot of people will have an opinion on everything that's going on with you. My advice to you, try and keep yourself to yourself. If there is stuff that people are trying to start with you or trying to pull you into any kind of drama, stay the fuck out of it. It's got nothing to do with you, right? Let it happen around you and not to you. There is one thing that I do really, really want clarified. So I'm going to have a look at this. All right. Yeah, love that. So we get the 9 of Cups to couple the World card. So it suggests not only is it the completion, but once this month is done, you will have gone through the process of ultimate healing, right? So for some of you, this really does look like you could be going to therapy. You may be going to a talk, a group talk, or like for some of you, it could be like an AA meeting or something of that nature. For others of you, you could be going to seek out a therapist, right? You could be going to get some sort of professional help in order to deal with something. But what I can definitely tell you is wishes are fulfilled this month. The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, but it's also healing, right? So whatever comes up this month, you have the power, the energy, and the downright balls or boobs to get yourself through it, right? You can handle this month. You can absolutely handle this month. It's just 31 small days, and once it's over, you will be literally living a brand new life. I wish you so many blessings. Keep in touch. Drop me comments, send me emails, do whatever you need to do. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff, Aquarius. Stay focused. You've got this. No matter how tough it seems, we're going to be all right. All right?